Hi. Okay, so I just saw that Jenn and Pumps are on live, so I want to join their live. This is IHIP News. I've had it podcast with Jenn Welch and Pumps. Pumps, one day I'll know your full name. I love these ladies so much. Jenn speaks so well, I feel, for all women, and everything she says, I just want to chime in and start talking with her. So please forgive me if if for some reason you end up getting to see this. I just want to say I love you so much and thank you so much, both you ladies, for everything. I love your reporting. It's so good. I love sitting here.
Welcome to IHIP News Live. This really isn't that deep. Pam Bondi is a complete freak in the late stages of MAGA psychosis. And I think that's what we're seeing. All of these MAGA people, they tethered themselves to this sinking con man, and they cannot admit it. And so they are just rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic, and the Titanic is our country, and we're all watching it sink. So she's in front of Congress today.
And our children.
It's just as ridiculous and embarrassing as you would think. And then you have to add like 1,000,000% to that. Let's play some of the highlights and we'll react to it.
Apologize to President Trump? Have you apologized to President Trump? All of you who participated in those impeachment hearings against Donald Trump, you all should be apologizing. You sit here and you attack the president, and I am not going to have it. I'm not going to put up with it.
What?
She is not going to have it. She's not going to put up with it. Apologize to President Trump?
For what?
I mean, is she high? Did she smoke crack before she walked in there and sat down? Apologize to President Trump because he got impeached, as he should have, with the Ukraine deal and for the insurrection. I mean, these people are just getting more and more unhinged. And I just think this is like, we need to have a psychiatrist on the show because I think there's a new disorder called MAGA psychosis.
You know, I watched this and originally I was outraged, and the more I watched it, just what a sad day for the United States. I mean, every day under Donald Trump is a sad day. Don't get me wrong, as democracy and the branches of government. But this was just a microcosm of the demise of the justice system. This is a person that cannot look victims in the eyes because she knows she's fucking them over, and she does not care. She knows care. She has a pardon. She doesn't care. She doesn't care about decorum. She doesn't care about the truth. Lying to Congress, in my mind, is the least of her crimes. But the fact that she would sit there and defend Donald Trump and him being named like 1,000,000 times in the Epstein files, but has not talked to one victim. Victims raised their hand. She didn't talk to one of them. The Justice Department has not reached out to any of them. The
Are
FBI,
you serious?
if you want to contact them, contact the regular 1-800 number. They don't want to know. They don't want to hear you. They will ignore you when you come forward. And these survivors have been victimized over and over again. And of course, Jim Jordan's in charge of it. And he protects sexual abuse too. So
I want to say, when I called the FBI and left an entire fact sheet for them, they tried to have me sectioned. I said, they came to the door, I said, you're going to have to start looking at the other side of this complaint. Did they? It sounds like it's going to catch up to everybody. Yeah. That's our favorite
none of
thing.
this is surprising. It's just, to me, very, 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 very sad. I mean, it's disturbing. It's outlandish. She's unhinged. But how far the Justice Department has fallen is just, it depresses me.
And kids.
I think there's an intentional desire by the Trump regime to take the DOJ and turn it upside down, where people don't know how for it to function. You're an attorney, Pumps. My husband's a criminal defense attorney, and typically DOJ, federal prosecutors, U.S. attorneys, things are buttoned up. It's professional. They're serious. They don't talk about indictments unless they can win. Their winning record is very high. Independence and all of this stuff is a really big thing. But we're seeing something really remarkable play out where you have Jeanine Pirro, believe it was. She tried to go in front of a grand jury to get an indictment on 6 sitting congresspeople and senators. And the grand jury is now a line of defense against this regime. And so we all know grand juries will indict a ham sandwich. So it's interesting to see the courts and the DOJ are failing, but everyday Americans in a grand jury are like, no, we're not going to indict these people that are a resistance to this regime. And what's most alarming for me regarding Pam Bondi is that all of these people behave as though they will never face accountability. Ever. Right. The way she's behaving in front of Congress is as though she knows what's going to happen in the midterms and her ass won't get hauled back in there and get impeached. So this is what's really troubling, the immaturity and the psychosis. Fox News has been at this level of stuff for decades. Pam Bondi is a Bible thumper, sycophant, wears her cross, talks about Donald Trump being transparent. And these people think just because he's a narcissist that wants to be on TV all the time, that equates to transparency. He's a compulsive liar, a pathological liar, a malignant narcissist, clearly in late stage dementia. And I think that the interesting thing is their psychosis to me and the defensive nature of the way they all behave shows me guilt on their part. Because if you really believe in what you're doing, you don't have to behave that way. If she believed she were on the right side of history, if she believed she were executing the rule of law in a fair-minded manner, she wouldn't be behaving this way in front of Congress. All of these people try to play Trump's playbook. You see JD Vance do it. You see her do it. And every time somebody else does it, they look like a completely insane person. We're all so normalized with when Trump does it because the mainstream media has done such a bang up job sane washing all of his insanity. But let's play some more of this shit show we're hearing today.
Funniest saying.
The Dow is over $50,000. I don't know why you're laughing. You're a great stock trader, as I hear, Raskin. The Dow is over 50,000 right now. The S&P at almost 7,000. And the NASDAQ smashing records. Americans' 401ks and retirement savings are booming. That's what we should be talking about. We should be talking about making Americans safe. We should be talking about, what does the Dow have to do with it?
2 things here. Number 1, a lot of people will say a lot of Americans don't have 401ks, and that's really true. But also what she's speaking to there is a lot of the Americans that vote for Trump that wouldn't admit it in social circles. They know how crazy he is. They do it for that very reason. And there are millions of Americans that all she has to do is go 401k signal. And they're like, oh yeah, my stocks are doing great.
Right.
Or to the cult base, she can go Christian signal and like, oh yeah, she's BFFs with JC. We're all good there. So they know how to send signals of propaganda to different pockets of their base to try to keep it gelled together. And the stock market, in my opinion, is, and I'm not an economist, but I've been trying to read a lot about it. It's really, you have about 8 stock companies that are trading billions and billions of dollars, sometimes trillions. And it's this AI bubble, and it's ultimately going to pop. But the fundamentals of the economy below the stock market, massive inflation, massive employment, the dollar is on it, just a death spiral downward in this last year. And all of this was preventable. Even the Wall Street Journal, which is one of the most conservative, fiscally conservative papers in the country, owned by Rupert Murdoch, said their headline a week before the election between Kamala and dipshit said that whoever wins is going to inherit the strongest economy in the world. And here's what's so important. The other countries in the world are not experiencing the economic downturn that we are. All of this is self-induced by these tariffs, by incompetent people, and by religious hypocrites like her that go out to the American public and tell them, we're on your side, we're doing the Lord's work. and really manipulate and grift these people just like their megachurch pastors do.
Yeah, I mean, I read the other day that, we know Trump is still sending these emails. Are you an illegal alien? I read that he's having this dinner or some kind of function, and it's $1 million free to go. And I'm like, he's accumulating all of this money.
$1 million for a dinner? People can't even afford dinner. And he takes away people's stamps, takes away their ability to work, to get to work. Okay. $1 million for a dinner. Oh, talking about the God part with these people, I can speak from my own experience with them. Oh, you mentioned a tarot card and they have to excuse themselves. Meanwhile, they're trafficking kids. They're all over the country. Globally, the most shameful, derelict people you could ever come across in their piety. Let's do a tarot reading next. Absolutely. Meanwhile, I don't even know if I'd want tarot cards. I could just read the room, but they can't. They just can't read the room.
It's PAC. If I were guessing, not that the DOJ will ever look under this Pam Bondi, but this money is going straight into his pocket. And even though he's making billions and billions of dollars from foreign investments in crypto and all that, he can't help himself to grift off of his own supporters. It's really kind of just like, wow. So you're getting billions of dollars from all these foreign countries and all this crazy ass corruption that you're doing, but you still want to grift off your donors with that $3,500. If you sign this, you get $3,500 automatic charged to your credit card. And it's just like,
what?
That's fucked up. I mean, that's just beyond the pale.
He's been doing this his whole life, though. But here's what is the real red flag for me is when you look at fundraising right now, the Republicans have quite a piggy bank, and the Democrats are lagging incredibly far behind on fundraising. And we can look no further to people like Kristen Gillibrand, the senator from New York, and Chuck Schumer's the other senator from New York, and Hakeem Jeffries, the House Minority Leader. If they were putting up an actual resistance, I think the money, grassroots donations would roll in to the DNC. But what they're seeing are everyday citizens donating directly to the candidates and not through Act Blue style fundraising forces, because the Kristen Gillibrands, the Chuck Schumers, the Cory Bookers, they are all completely blue MAGA. They are the blue MAGA. And this is a real issue. And you see these tech and AI people who are keeping the stock market afloat are investing heavily into Republican candidates. So it is an uphill battle. Despite all of this, and despite the Democrats' overwhelming and historic unpopularity, MAGA policies are so breathtakingly unpopular that Democrats are still winning. And really great things are happening in New Jersey, where a populist, anti-AIPAC populist won. And AIPAC went in and spent a shit ton of money on a candidate that got beat. And now Mark Zuckerberg is censoring the Instagram account Track AIPAC, has been suspended from Instagram after this victory. And so they know these oligarchs who helped rig the algorithms before are going to continue, and it's going to get worse. And this whole thing with Pam Bondi today is theater for her. All of this is done for an audience of one. And he's told her, go in, make an ass, here's your burn book, make an ass of all of them. I'll give you a pardon. It doesn't matter. I mean, these are the conversations they're having. And then I'm sure I've read reports and heard rumors that he plays people in his cabinet against each other, like would gossip about Pam Bondi behind her back, and then gossip about another person to Pam Bondi. So just a really toxic mix of people. But as it pertains to the fundraising thing, the Democrats are horrifically behind as it heads into the midterms. And I fault corporate Democratic establishment for this failed, lackluster opposition and resistance. It's just absolutely beyond the pale that this is all they have launched. Not the people that are in here questioning Pam Bondi. You see some really good politicians putting up a good fight, but Democratic leadership is just really sickens me. All right, let's play the next clip.
Let her filibuster all day long, but not on our watch. Not on our time. No way. And I told you about that, Attorney General, before you started.
You don't tell me.
Yeah, I did tell you because we saw what you did in the Senate.
You're a lawyer, not even a lawyer.
Committee will be in order.
Time, and I should get back at least 45 seconds.
We will give you a few more seconds. I said that already.
45 seconds.
Okay, I'm timing right now, Mr. Nadler.
All right.
My time.
I just can't believe that people are okay with this. Like this
Right.
is, and they are. And she makes sure.
She
in
sounds like a
clips that she
teenager
signals to
throwing a tantrum.
certain parts of the base.
Wow.
Your stocks are okay, so we can ignore the rape of little girls.
Mhm.
Your stocks are okay, so we don't need to call out Secretary Lutnick for his lies and perjury about colluding with Jeffrey Epstein and taking his children to Pedo Island. And
As
there
assets.
is an intentional, flagrant desire for this regime to prop up their moral collapse, to show everybody we get to do these things, so that the end result is fatigue on the citizen and the desire to descend into nihilism. And this is the desired effect of propaganda and of these fascists. And in order for us to defeat fascism, we have to have a proper opposition party. And so that's why when we talk about what the Trump regime is doing, I always coincide it with what are the Democrats doing? Because there's a lot of people in Washington that are governing. There's a lot of people in Washington that are making decisions. There's a lot of people in Washington that are taking PAC money. And I'm very interested to know that a lot of the people that we are counting on to put up a resistance, to quit giving a blank check to Israel, to cease funding ICE. And when you find out that they are beholden by the same corporations, and this is a critique that must be echoed over and over and over.
No more
Well, you know, it's funny
corporate
when you
America.
said that about, not funny, haha, but just interesting.
It's so true. First, we were corporate America. Have I said this before? Then we were Saudi America. Or then we were China America. Then Saudi America. Right now, we are really safely tucked in there between China and Saudi America and Russian oligarchs. And definitely right European oligarchs too. I don't know how these people think they get out alive, even if they get out without serving jail time, which of course most of them do, or most all of them do, except for Steve Bannon, who actually served time. I just don't see how they sleep at night. I don't understand how they go out and herald friends and throw their arms around each other and here we are, and oh, you look fabulous, and aren't you great, and give each other props, and they know they're fucking over their own kids, or each other's children, and each other's husbands, and each other's friends. I mean, this is what they are. It's exactly the way the Nazi Party was created. It's exactly the way it was. Pam Bondi looks like one of the main characters in a 1938 YouTube clip on real-life footage. Magda Goebbels.
I am on the text chain for Act Blue and have been since before the election, obviously. And so I just got one that said, "Hi, this is Chuck Schumer." And I just thought, if you think that I'm going to give you my money, and I stopped it. Like, I've been getting texts this whole time because I just want to see what's going on. And I just thought, if that's the way you're raising money, I'm out. Ixnay, I mean, like,
I'm confused because Chuck Schumer yesterday, I mean, he was almost asleep, you'd have to check him for a pulse. But he was with the victims, and he was pushing forward a law that there was no statute of limitations on rape. Besides, how is there a law that there's a statute of limitations? Are you serious? Whoa. So I was really proud of him for that, but I know these guys really don't like him at all. I'm interested to learn more. But way to go, Chuck. Chucky! Imagine hanging someone up in their dead sleep in the middle of a cavernous room and having them look like a Chucky doll. Imagine that. Then going out to dinner laughing about it, videotaping it, and sending it around to your friends, creating a cottage industry off of this. Imagine that. I had to imagine that recently. I put it out of my mind right away, probably like you just did, but think of that. Dragged out of your bed and hung up by rafters for the amusement of whom? Middle-aged people, grown adults, the Epstein class.
Saying hi, this is Chuck Schumer. Is it
But it
immediately?
just shows how tone deaf they are. If they're sending that out, if they think Chuck Schumer is going to be some fundraising juggernaut, it shows you how broken the DNC is, how out of touch the DNC is. You have actual stars in your party. You have actual people with conviction that stand up against this stuff, that you know where they stand. 100%. And those people should be taking the front and center lead on this stuff, not Chuck Schumer. That just absolutely, if they think, oh yeah, let's have Chuck send out a fundraising text, right, that just shows you, are you kidding me? I mean, it's just, it's this blue MAGA Democratic Party that infuriates me. All right, let's play another clip.
Not allowed to exercise your constitutional rights in a way that tramples on someone else's, are you? No, you can't do that. I mean, you have a right to petition the government under the First Amendment. That doesn't mean you can come into this room and start screaming at Mr. Raskin or me or anybody else and disrupt a congressional hearing. You have a right to protest on the street, but that doesn't give you a right to go into the Capitol and disrupt Congress. Something these guys talk about every day. You can't do that. So when Don Lemon said that he was exercising his First Amendment free press rights, freedom of the press rights, that's not really accurate because he was trampling on other individuals' rights. Is that?
So what this is about is the Republicans were instructed by the Trump administration not to ask Bondi any questions about Epstein. And they are submissive. Republican men are completely submissive to a man that wears a full face of makeup every single day. And think about that. These are the guys on Fox News and in Congress and the bro podcasting orbit that talk incessantly about masculinity, yet they are so obsequious and so submissive to the desires of this old queen that is consumed with decorating the Oval Office, consumed with putting makeup on his face, listens to Phantom of the Opera. And he says, hey, don't ask about Epstein. And they'll go, oh, yes, sir. We're submissive little betas. And Jim Jordan to sit there and talk about you can't go storm the Capitol. I mean, I guess this plays big in the MAGA world, but it's just at this point, the hypocrisy is every day, multiple times a day. I'm not going to sit here and act shocked by it. This is what they do. It's a manipulative gaslighting feature that propagandists use. But in a larger point here, Jim Jordan has a history of covering up for child pedophilia and sexual assault at Ohio State University wrestling squad. So the more and more you discover about these MAGA people and you dig into their past, this shit is in it. This type of lack of moral clarity regarding sexual issues and abuse with children seems to be a pervasive feature, not a symptom, but a feature of this cult. And Pam Bondi and Jim Jordan, we just have not put our best foot forward. And the Democrats, Pumps, I wish you hadn't told me that they're putting Chuck Schumer front and center.
Sorry. I threw you off. I can see it. You're just fires.
It makes me so mad because I think somebody wrote in the comment section a few minutes ago about David Hogg. And this is what he came to the DNC to do. And they all shit the bed and freaked out. And imagine if they'd been fighting this last year, if the Democrats were really fighting. I mean, even Trump and people in his cabinet have said, we thought we were going to get more of a fight than this. Yeah. These are things that they have said. They're shocked at how bend over the Democrats are. And so they're going to continue to do these styles when people get hauled in front of Congress. They're going to continue to do this kind of flagrant, in your face, the rules don't apply to me.
Actually, the Democrats are known for being so wimpy that the Republicans would never be. I did an entire, I mean, how many months was it? Years of just listening to only, I guess it's Republican-based, independent-based news. The posture is not that the Democrats don't roll over. Jen's right. They're known as being rollovers by the Republicans, even independents. But the scary thing to me is like how much Trump is pushing and how disgusting, shooting people straight in the face. The ICE propaganda. I mean, how hard they're hitting when it is so easy to just roll them over. And that's how they treat, I think, every human being they ever come in contact with. I have to take a break because it's been, I think, about 26 minutes. And I need a break, but I'm going to come back and watch these guys. They're so great. And I need to find out what's up with Chuck Schumer. What's up, Chuck? What's up, Chuck? What's up, Chuck? What's up with Chucky?